Hey, how you doing? Good morning, everybody. My name's Karma, and welcome to 10 things that Tekken 8 needs in order for it to be the single best Tekken in history. Now, before we get started, I did want to apologize ahead of time for my mic's quality. I will go out and get a snowball mic eventually, but for now, this will have to, unfortunately, suffice. So, the 10 items that I have on my list, they are not in any particular order. I will have them from, I guess, most important to least important, but the ones that are at the top of the list are not numbered 1 through whatever. You know, it's just kind of what I think needs to really be in the game, and then what needs to be in the game, and then I'll have like maybe a wish list section toward the end of the video. So this first item on the list is an absolute must: roll back netcode. I mean, let's be honest. It's about that time, right? It's 2023, and if there is a game that is currently in development or that will soon be in development, it is time for devs to be like, okay, it's the future of fighting games. We need rollback netcodes. What's the big issue with a lot of arena fighters and 2D fighters and even past Tekkens is the netcode. The connections would drop, the frame rates would drop, the things just aren't smooth for the online player. The online experience is not that great. Tekken 7, a perfect example. It's the newest Tekken, and it is still laggy on console, at least. PC is a little bit better, I've noticed, from playing on PC, but playing on a console, it is not where it's at. It's just not it. I cannot think of anything more frustrating than dropping the match-winning combo because lag. Not because I dropped the combo, not because of skill issue, but because of the connection, something I have no control over. Not only would rollback netcode mean more consistent online matches, but think of the potential for big online tournaments. Now, I'm not saying that we're gonna have a online version of Evo or something, but I mean, why not? You know, I mean, why not have bigger tournaments online if the netcode can support it? Not everybody can travel and make these larger tournaments in person, so an online version of maybe the smaller versions of the tournaments would be fine. Maybe like an online version, maybe not of Combo Breaker, but of something as big as Combo Breaker, you know, 300, 400 players online in an online tournament. I really don't see the issue with this. And I think that it would be very possible with a better netcode for Tekken 8. So the next thing on my list for Tekken 8 is a decently sized base roster. We already have 8 characters confirmed at the time of this recording. Those characters being Jin, Kazuya, Jun, Paul, Law, Lars, King, and Jack 8. My ideal roster size for Tekken 8 would be 25 base characters and then maybe 10 to 15 DLC characters. Now, I am well aware that there are going to be plenty of you out there that disagree with this, but you have got to remember, this is not a tag game. This is a normal, single, 1v1 Tekken game, and having a massive roster is just not the way to go, at least in my opinion. I feel as if anything more than 40 characters, at the absolute most 45, anything more than that is just absurd. It might as well be a tag game, you know? So I think keeping the number 40 and under with 40 solid, well-designed, well-redesigned characters is the way to go. Having too many characters makes an already complex and difficult game to learn become even more daunting for new players. Every character has 100+ moves, and that's 40 matchups that you have to learn if you want to be good at the game. If you're a casual and you don't care, absolutely fine. Add as many characters as you want. But we know that Tekken is not that kind of game where you just bash your forehead into the controller. People want to improve, people want to get better, and that means they have to learn every character's matchup. Having 60+ characters that you have to learn the matchup for can become very, very excruciating for a new player. So I think that keeping the number 40 and under is just the smart move this time around. Next tag game, add as many characters as you want. because heat system will either be in that tag game or not. Doesn't matter, it's a tag game, right? They'll probably introduce some new mechanic anyway. So if it's a tag game, go crazy. It's who cares? But in a 1v1 Tekken, sometimes simpler is better. All right, now that we got the roster issues out of the way, let's move on to number 3. Diverse online features. We need online training mode. I have been playing Tekken for 18 years, and I have yet to be able to fluently practice online with a friend of mine. It would be nice to lab with a buddy, would it not? I know plenty of players that have been wanting this online training mode feature since Tekken 6, you know? Just the experience of being able to put the timer to infinite and then just lab with a friend would just be a massive improvement to the online feature. And this is just an example, but I mean, when I say diverse, maybe team battle online, you know? Even if it's just teams of 4, bring it back, man. You know, playing with 4 of your favorite characters against another person's 4 favorite characters, that'd be a blast, man. Of course, it probably wouldn't have a ranked mode, and that's perfectly fine. It's a casual mode, but you pick 4, I pick 4, beat my 4 characters, or I beat your 4 characters. That's how you win, you know? How fun would that be? Survival, I don't know how many people might have played it, but that was fun. Bring that back, have like little leaderboards, and you can post your scoring on leaderboards and compete with others around the country and around the world. Ghost battle, bring that back. The ghosts were pretty absurd. I remember being counter hit down forward 2 by a Kazuya into a perfect electric, and I just threw my controller across the room years ago on Tag 2. But it was fun though. It felt like I was playing against actually skilled characters or skilled people, you know? I did like the treasure battle. Treasure battle was fine. Maybe some improvements are needed here and there, but it was fine. And larger tournaments. I think the max is 8 players right now. That is not enough. How about 32 players? You know, if not 32, then 16. You know, more than 8. I don't think it's an actual proper tournament mode unless you have the option for more slots in a tournament. But I digress. Alrighty, let's go on ahead to item number 4 on the list. A unique and satisfying story mode. This is supposedly the final fight of the Mishima saga. The fate of the Mishima bloodline ends with this game. Right? This has to be a monumental story mode. They can't half-ass this. They half-ass the Tekken 7 story, and if they are going to tell the story the way that they told it in Tekken 7, they might as well not even implement it into their game. It might as well just have no story mode. It just be a straight fighter online and offline, because it won't do the game and the characters and the story of 25 plus years any justice. Now, this part isn't particularly necessary, but I would like to see maybe some world traversing, some exploration with playable characters like from the actual game itself, not just some created character that you run around with that has no correlation to the story, but like you actually pick a character, you can traverse and, you know, fight G Corp or the Mishima Zaibatsu or whatever, you know, just something unique that hasn't really been done either before or in a long time. The last time I remember being able to run around and fight bad dudes was Tekken 6, and that was a lot of fun. But another example, like maybe okay, I'm a Hwoarang main. Maybe I could pick Hwoarang and traverse the story as Hwoarang. I encounter Jin, beat him, and then I can choose to assist Jin in stopping Kazuya from dominating the world. Now, again, it doesn't have to be exact like that. This is just an example, but how awesome would that be? You know, little Easter eggs here and there, like find portraits or something of characters that gives you more backstory on. I don't know. They can get creative with it. I'm not a game developer, but just something to give us more than this, than cutscene, fight, cutscene, fight. It gets repetitive. It gets boring, and that's not gonna do Tekken 8 any justice. And speaking of doing the game justice, the reason that Tekken 7 was so wildly wildly successful is because of our point or item number 5. Consistent and impactful patch updates. This is I'd say, if not one of the top 3 reasons, the main reason that Tekken 7 had such great success. The development team has been backing the game and supporting it since launch. They've put out consistent patch updates, character fixes, bug fixes, stuff like that. Tag 2, to my knowledge, never had a balanced patch to fix the problems in the game. So it stayed a broken game for years until T7 dropped. I mean, albeit Tag 2 is fun, but it's not fun enough to keep me wanting to go back to it. I haven't booted up Tag 2 in God knows. It's been a minute. And that's because the game is just so broken. I'll go back and play Jun probably soon, because I do miss playing the character Jun. I don't know why I said June. Jun Kazama, whatever you want to call her. I miss playing that character. She's not in Tekken 7, so I will probably go back and revisit her soon. But outside of that, I have no reason to turn on Tag 2. It's not fun online, in ranked. It's not fun in player matches. Nothing to do but just sit in a lobby and fight each other. There's no tournament mode. It's just a very dry, unbalanced mess, to simply put it. This is essential. Absolutely essential for Tekken 8's success and the longevity of the game as a whole. So we're in a day and age where patch updates exist, thankfully. So I think that they're going to keep doing this, and DLC character season passes, whatever, right? Because DLC characters and season passes, that's a great way for a fan to support the game without feeling like they have to buy a whole new product with less features. So spending $25 on a season pass, getting 4 or 5 new characters, some new stages, and some cosmetics, that sounds a lot better than dropping $60 for a whole new Tekken, getting 2 new characters, 2 new stages, and a pat on the back. So I do believe that they are going to continue this trend of doing their consistent and meaningful patch updates for Tekken 8, and that is a big plus. So they are hopefully going to do a great job in that area. Now, I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm not going to spend so much time on each section from here on out, but how can I not? There's so much to talk about. Let's move on, though. Number 6. Unique and interesting, yet balanced new characters. Gotta be honest, there's some characters in Tekken 7 that are hit and miss. Chloe, Gigas, you know what I'm talking about. So I'd like to see some characters that aren't remakes of old characters like Josie and Master Raven, but actual new characters with unique fighting styles, like Claudio, Lydia, even Leroy. Sure, Leroy was and still is a little broken, but at least he's an actual Wing Chun practitioner, something that Tekken hasn't really had before. Fakum Ram and Josie, they just feel like Bruce split into 2 characters, but with slightly different movesets. And the fact that both Bears, Ganryu, and Armor King made it into the game, but not June? I don't know. At least she's confirmed now, right? But anyway, unique and diverse characters with their own unique identities. Nina's got guns, Law has nunchucks, King has throws that can screw attack, that bound. We need more of that. We need this to be something that is a consistent trend with every single character in Tekken 7. So, I'm sorry, in Tekken 8. I'm used to saying Tekken 7 for so many years. I'm sorry. I'm just excited to see what they do though to Hwoarang and June, because they were my mains in Tag 2. So I'm gonna cry when I see Hwoarang. I already know that, but June, I'm just full on excited for it. So now, number 7, we need a new and fun system mechanic, and they've already got it covered. Heat system. I was definitely not expecting them to completely redo combat in Tekken 8, but they did, and I get it. People don't like it, but why? Is it because it's different? That's all I can think of. Heat is definitely a step in the right direction, in my opinion. I think that there's plenty of players like that are looking at Tekken 8 and they're like, oh, it's Street Fighter, it's a 2D game. Like, cool joke, man, but let's be honest. Tekken has been the same type of gameplay, you know, like the way you play the game for almost 20 years, right? Like what do? You launch, you do your combo filler, you carry to the wall, do your wall ender, and then you force the opponent to take a 50-50 at the wall. If they guess wrong, you win the round. That's the end, you know? That's just how it's been since like Tekken 5 DR. And I think that it's about time for Tekken 8 to branch out. Like, look what they did. Look what Tekken 7 did. They introduced rage arts and rage drives to add some flair, some flash to the game. And they changed the main combo mechanic from bound to corkscrew. Now what? Best-selling Tekken of all time. I think it's good that they're taking risks. I think the main man said, like, he's not happy with everything he's seen so far, but at least the dev team is taking risks. They're trying to make Tekken feel fresh, feel different, feel new. That's what we need in this game. Tekken has been the same for so long that some risks are nice. It's nice to see, and I'm glad to see that they actually implemented a new system. I'm excited for it. On to number 8. Visual damage on the characters throughout the fight. Unreal Engine is insane, right? It's really, really pushing the game graphically, and we've seen it so far. So I feel like, I mean, sure, this may be a little on the less important side, but I feel like it would almost be criminal for them to exclude this feature. Like beaten or tattered clothing, bruising, sweating, all that. Like, we don't necessarily need blood per se, but I mean, it'd be welcomed. It's a fighting game. You're beating the crap out of each other, you know? To make the gameplay feel impactful, they've already done a good job with the audio. The sound, like the sound hits, the audio on the hit effects, they sound great, but you gotta pair that with good visuals. I think that this is a pretty big attention to detail that would just boost this game so much higher than it already looks compared to other games. Like, there's not even a playable build yet, and I'm already overhyped for Tekken 8. And that feature would icing on the cake, for sure. So then, on to number 9. Absolutely, and I mean absolutely, no 2D characters. 2D characters as guest characters in Tekken 7, they were, yeah. For me personally, I disliked all of them. Eliza, they took from Tekken Revolution and made a 2D character. I did not like Geese. I did not like Akuma. Just their matchups were just the worst to have to fight against. And bringing in non-Tekken characters is fine, but if you're going to bring in a non-Tekken character, please make them a grounded style of character instead of a jump overhead, double backflip, double quarter circle back input character. That is not Tekken. And if you want to play Street Fighter, that is fine. Go play Street Fighter. I like Street Fighter, but leave the Street Fighter characters out of Tekken. That was my biggest, one of my biggest things with Tekken 7 was just the 2D characters. They just felt unnecessary. Akuma, he just felt so forced into the story. It felt very unnecessary. They could have done literally anything else, but they wanted Capcom's character in there, which is cool. You know, a little agreement between Capcom and Tekken, but no, not again. We don't need 2D characters again. All right, on to the last and certainly not least item on my list, crossplay. Yes, crossplay. I understand it will likely be the hardest on this list to accomplish, but if they manage to accomplish crossplay between Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, that would be groundbreaking for Tekken. That would be such a great feature for Tekken players. I can't even put it into words. Crossplay offers so much, and it offers so many possibilities, so many tournaments that can happen cross gen. Imagine being able to play with your PC buddies, your PlayStation buddies. You're not limited to your console, and that's honestly one of the biggest problems with Tekken 7's online is you're limited. If there's nobody on Xbox and you're an Xbox player, you want to play some Tekken 7 ranked, it's a bad time of the night or bad time of the day, you just can't really find a match. Same thing on PlayStation, but PC, since there's so many Steam users, doesn't really have that problem. But yeah, crossplay does seem like I'd almost say necessary item, a necessary feature for online play. If you want this, like, if this game is going to be primarily online, like any game nowadays, the biggest scene, it would be the online scene. Yes, we pay attention to the tournament scenes in person in real life, but the bulk of Tekken 8 will be enjoyed online. So having a crossplay feature is probably what you would want if you're going to be spending most of your time playing online. Now, there should be a feature in the game where you can turn off crossplay if you would like. If you don't want to play against PC players, you shouldn't be forced. But it should at least be an option to have crossplay. And there you have it. That does it for our main 10 items on our list that we want to see to make Tekken 8 the greatest Tekken of all time. But it's not a list without a wish list, right? So I'm going to quickly go through the items that I have are a little separate wish list here. Unique dialogue for characters that know one another. So Jin Hwarong, Paul Law, stuff like that. They interact briefly before their match, and then bam, they fight. Tekken Jukebox for all platforms. That would be... don't get me started. A in-depth character creation. Not necessary, but would be cool to see. Street Fighter 6 has a character creation type thing where you create your character and you traverse the world as your own character. So that'd be cool to see in Tekken, but not necessary. A tag mode. Someone in the Facebook group said that tag mode for this game would be insanity, and I have to agree. But the good kind of insanity. It would be a lot of fun, I think. So tag mode would be fun. A diverse and in-depth character customization mode. Probably the deepest that we've ever seen, honestly. Like Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 6, they had pretty, well, I don't remember Tekken 6 too much in terms of customization, but Tag 2 had a very, very nice character customization. Tekken 7 kind of lacking, to be nice about it. It's lacking, but if we can buff that up a little bit, get some deeper customization options, I think that would be cool. And then lastly, mini games like Tekken Bowl or Tekken Force, mini games like that. How sick, just whatever mini games, whatever creativity that the dev team can come up with, I would like to see. And that'll do it. If you guys have stuck with me this long throughout the entire video, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. There's a lot of work that goes into making these videos, and I am small-time content creator as of now, so any kind of support, like, comment, subscribe, helps me out a lot, guys. And I hope that this video found you very, very easily, and please, please give Tekken 8 a chance before you guys run to the comment section of every trailer and shitpost about it, But with that being said, my name's Karma. I don't got shit else for you today, man. And I'll see you in the next video.